Hey guys, it's Lindsay. We are going to do the fire sign reading. I'm going to do for late July into August. I did do the July reading already, but I just keep getting a call to read again for the fire signs. I feel like there's more for you guys here, okay? So we're just going to drop in. And actually, the thing here I want you guys to do, wherever you are, wherever you're listening, whether or not you're actually paying attention to the video itself, I want you to listen to my voice for a couple of minutes, okay? Because I feel like fire signs, you really need to drop in and take a deep breath. And so I'm going to do a quick breathing exercise for you here, okay? So while I'm shuffling the cards, I just want you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, to take a deep breath in. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. One more inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I just really had this need, I guess, to share that, right? So I feel like you guys have been having a hard time tapping in to your own self-awareness, reconnecting with yourself, and kind of being present, okay? So sometimes breath can be the thing that offers us presence back to ourselves when we are overwhelmed, when we have a lot going on in the world. And I'm offering that to you as a reminder to offer that presence back to yourselves. Yes, fire signs, yes. We are working with the big bad deck right now. So this deck, this is the Doreen Virtue Angel deck, and she no longer makes that. So Doreen Virtue doesn't make cards anymore, and this deck, you can get the Radley Valentine deck, which is essentially the same thing. He is the artist, but this was my first tarot deck ever, and we're coming in here, fire signs, with the heavy hitters. We have the Lovers, the Wheel reversed, and the Sun. So for fire signs, towards the end of July into August, in the fire season, happy birthday, Leo. We are changing our perspective on relationships, fire signs. This is a big one, okay? So I feel like a lot of you are doing renovations around your relationships. And it's interesting that I use that word, because renovations, when you're talking about renovations, oftentimes you're talking about the home, right? So for many of you, you have found your home in relationships, fire sign. You have found your sense of home and belonging in relationships, and now you're in this period of your life where you are doing some heavy renovations. And this is not like moving furniture or, you know, adding a couple nice throw pillows. This is like ripping out entire walls, okay? And seeing what's behind them. And actually what I'm seeing for you is there's a lot of what I'm actually seeing is like mold. So there's a lot of old, dense, stagnant, and heavy energy around your relationships and your relationship patterns that are finally being seen and shown in the end of July into August. And I really want you to allow whatever is moving to move through you at this point, okay, around that, and not hold on to anything too tightly, because what's actually happening, fire signs, is you are on track for a renewal at the bottom of the deck. So I think for many of you, in your past relationships, we have the Wheel reversed, as we said. So when a card is reversed, it is the opposite, right? So the Wheel is a closing of a cycle. It is the ending of a cycle. And the way that this was coming in with the Wheel being reversed, you've been trying to force the end of a cycle, specifically around your romantic relationships, fire signs. And it feels like you've been forcing and forcing and forcing it, and the Wheel is not budging. And the Wheel is not budging because it's not time yet. But now, July into August, it is time, and you are getting that sense of renewal here. We have Archangel Jeremiel, and it's interesting because the wheel is number 10 and renewal is 20. So we're doubling the intensity here from July into August around your relationships. So you may see some drastic changes and falling away around your romantic relationships. And I feel like you've been trying to like force some relationships into a certain way for so long that you're finally coming to terms with the fact that these relationships are maybe not what you want, and you can't make something be what you want, right? So again, I'm going to emphasize, if you find romantic relationships falling away at this time, fire signs, let them fall away, because you are renovating your romance, okay? You are renovating around your love life, and you're making way, you're removing all that dense, old, stagnant, moldy energy, and you're making way for something beautiful. And what I'm actually seeing is wide open spaces. Like, you know, when people renovate and they open up rooms and finally you can see all the light in the room, because they've taken down walls that were blocking the light. That's really what's happening here, fire signs. You're taking down the walls that were blocking the light. We have the sun, okay? The sun is the card that I want to see. And the fact that it's directly across from the lovers, that tells me that you are coming back into natural alignment with your love life and no longer having to force things to be the way that you want. So we're going to take that wheel card out, because that is what is moving away from you, and this is what is coming for you, okay? I do also want to caution the way this is coming through. There's something, fire signs, around specifically for some of you. I feel like part of that old patterning that you're getting rid of is not only trying to fit a relationship to be what you want it to be, but also trying to fit yourself into the box of a relationship. So the next relationship, I want you to move as naturally and as aligned for yourself as possible, because I feel like what I'm seeing is like looking and or dressing and or acting a certain way to make yourself more desirable to the partner that you want. And what I'm actually seeing now is that opening up, as we were talking about that renovating, we were seeing about the opening up around your authenticity. And that's where the movement comes in. It is around your authenticity, because finally you're able to align with a partner authentically, and they will be aligning with you authentically, okay? I'm also seeing something very passionate here coming in. So if you're not currently in a relationship, I am seeing a passionate connection coming in. It does feel like there is definitely a heavy physical element to this relationship. But again, it's nothing that is hidden or shadow work, because I feel like you've both, I mean, there always will be some shadow work, but I feel like you've both done a lot of work on your own, the two people coming into alignment. And so you're not working as much from your shadows as you would be in the past, right? So that is our general reading for fire signs July into August. We're going to put these aside, and we're going to get into our specifics. And I want to look at Aries first, because Aries was the one that I was actually being called to read for. And I wasn't expecting to do a reading today, but Aries, you've been calling me to do a reading. And so we're going to read for Aries in this way. And I usually don't flip cards like this first, so this is really interesting to me that I'm doing this as well. But I am one who moves with my intuition, and I've found that that's the best way to kind of receive these messages. And as always, you know, these are group messages, so receive what feels aligned for you and leave what doesn't, okay? Yes, Aries, wow. Okay, so we have 4, and it's interesting the Justice card came up. Okay, there's something about number 8, Justice, Archangel Raguel. Okay, Aries, here's the thing. So I feel like there's something with one of your past relationships that you're still holding on to. It's like this sense of needing to be justified, okay? And that's part of this renovating that needs to happen. Is you have these columns and the angel in the middle, and it's reversed facing you, and balance. You have this need to have justice. in pertaining to your romantic relationships, and the renovation is around you letting go of that idea of justice, whatever your particular idea of justice is, because I feel like you're holding on to it and it's keeping you from moving forward. Now, that's not to say if there is a legal issue or something happened and you are legally seeking justice and you are, you know, it is an actuality for you. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this sense of justice and or morality that you were seeking from your prior partner that you'd never received, and you're still kind of like holding on to that as an attachment, Aries. This is the letting go of it in this season. I don't want you to hold on to these attachments, right? Because this is what is actually holding you underwater emotionally, is this need to have your emotional justice is what it is, right? 10 of Fire, Knight of Earth. So the way this is coming in is actually for you, Aries, is to begin grounding into yourself. I feel like, you know, for you, you wander, not just romantically, you wander in a way that is like, you're seeking to return parts of yourself back, but it's almost like you're seeking in the wrong areas, okay? And part of this is like, again, we're going back to that sense of justice, you know, having justice with you know, finding your justice, your emotional justice from a prior relationship, retrieving that. And that's not saying don't find balance within yourself, don't find clarity, don't find, you know, peace within yourself. But this sense of justice comes from an inner need to, it's like an inner need to be right, okay? And I think that the way it's coming through is releasing that, because in you needing to be right, Aries, it's actually emotionally tying you down, okay? And for some of you, this actually feels like very relationships that have been long since passed, and you still think over them and you're like, well, you know, this was handled incorrectly and I'm right on this and this and that's, and you're emotionally tying to yourself that is long in the past, right? So we look at the 10 of Fire and we see the dragon hoarding the cup, and typically 10 of Fire, I'd be like, this is a great card, right? But what I'm actually seeing is hoarding those emotions, Aries. And in July and August of 2026, it's finally this time where you make the decision to stop hoarding those emotions, to stop seeking that emotional justice, quote unquote. And again, I'm not talking about if you are seeking legal justice for being wronged or anything like that. I'm talking about consistently ruminating on what occurred in the relationship that keeps you from moving forward. And again, I'm going to re-emphasize this period of renewal from the general reading. This is what you're actually looking for. You're not actually looking for justice. What you're looking for is renewal. What you're looking for is a sense of peace within yourself. So again, when I'm getting back to that looking in the wrong area, this is finally the time for you, Aries, to release this circling of your prior relationships, okay? Because you're never going to find your justice, quote unquote, and you're not going to find your renewal either, okay? And I really want to kind of circle again once more on this looking in the wrong area. I keep hearing it, Aries, over and over again, looking in the wrong area, looking in the wrong area. Okay, I feel like specifically in romance, and if you're not currently in a relationship, what I'm seeing is looking in the wrong area for partners. And we were talking about in the general reading, right, trying to fit partners into a certain ideal that you have, or trying to fit yourself into an ideal for a partner that you are interested in. That's where this looking in the wrong area is coming in, okay? if you are fitting or molding yourself or fitting or molding someone else into the box of your ideal, of your relationship, that's just as bad as what we were talking about prior with you know, seeking this sense of emotional justice, right? So this is the future, right? So it's so interesting. We're talking about looking in the wrong area, Aries, looking to the past and seeking emotional justice, and then looking to the future and seeking to be some sort of ideal or have this ideal in a relationship. And neither of these actually offer you the present. I'm going to say that again. Neither of these actually offer you the present, which is where your salvation, which is where your renewal is being present and being authentic and showing up for yourself. And this is the opportunity from July into August, Aries, is to be present not only for your romantic relationships and or your possible relationships, but for yourself, okay? Because I feel like, again, as we're saying, looking in the wrong place, you've been wandering a long time, and the whole time you've been wandering, you've been actually just looking for yourself. And you've been there the entire time, Aries. And that's the way this reading is coming through for you. And I feel like that's why I was getting this push to read for you so strongly, and the fire signs, but mainly you, because you needed to hear that. You've been looking in the wrong place the entire time, because what you've been looking for, you already have within you. It's already there. You need to stop seeking, Aries, and you need to just allow and be authentic to yourself. And I can hear you. I am authentic to myself. You are, but then you also overthink it. Okay? Because I feel like you overthink your authenticity. You show up or act a certain way, and then you're like, did I do this wrong? Did I do this? Did I do that? And so it's almost like taking away from that authenticity, because on the back end you overthink it. Just like we're talking about the past relationships, you're overthinking the justice in regards to these relationships when you should really be placing yourself in the present. We want to give you the Queen of Water energy, Aries. We want to give you the renewal energy and take that justice out of there. You want this. Be present. Be as present as you can be, and stop seeking in other places, okay? July to August, Aries. That's what we're looking for. Okay, we're going to look at Leo, birthday. Happy birthday, Leo. Oof. This is interesting, because what I'm getting romantically, because again, we're doing a romance reading, unexpected, for the fire signs during this time, but what I'm getting actually, Leo, is, this is so funny. I'm seeing oranges, and I don't know why. That might be a specific confirmation for someone, but I'm getting oranges in the way. Oh my God. Like, you know, sometimes when you expect something to be sweet, Leo, and it ends up being bitter, like a citrus, like you're like, oh, this is going to be a good orange, it's going to be sweet, and then it's bitter, and you hate it. Six of Water, Aries got Six of Water. Oh my God. And this is the same thing. So if we're talking about renewal in your romance and renovating your romance in July into August, Leo, you went into this relationship thinking it was going to be sweet, and it ended up being bitter. Like it wasn't fully ripened, okay? And that's literally what I'm getting. This relationship wasn't fully ripened, and it was unbalanced because you went into it unbalanced, okay? I feel like it's almost like to feel something, Leo. You want to feel something so badly that you will trip and fall into something to feel something. And that's what it is, because we're getting emotions. We're getting the Ace of Water. You're just reaching for that full goblet, whatever that goblet may hold, because you just want to feel something, Leo. Because you haven't felt something for so long. Six of Water. You're like, let me reach for that relationship, even though ultimately it's not, you know, fully ripened. It's bitter. It hasn't had the chance to grow. You just go full tilt into the relationship, and that's Leo operates like this. You know, you're full throttle into everything, and that's, you know, in some ways that can be great, but in some ways that can be, you know, very difficult. And that's what I'm getting, because you went full throttle into this relationship, Leo. And you're like, why is it not what I wanted? In the same way that Aries, you know, was trying to fit something into the ideal. You went full throttle when it wasn't even ready. And here you are emotionally holding the cup, Leo. Oh my God, it's not even that bitter orange, and you hate it. I know you do. And you're literally like, why? I know what I'm doing, High Priestess. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I know how I show up. That's not your problem. Your problem is you'll just jump. You'll just jump to feel something, Leo. And that's what you did. Okay, so now we're in this point of, what do? How do we renovate the house, Leo? How do we renovate the house when we jumped all the way in and came in with the bulldozer? You got to take it a step back. Page of Earth. So if you are interested in this relationship and pursuing this relationship, I think you need to slow it down the way this is coming in. And if you're not in a relationship right now, Leo, you need to go slowly into your next one and not just bulldoze right into it, because the relationship needs time to ripen, Leo. I just want to like shake you through the camera. It needs time to ripen, and you don't do that. That's not your MO. You're not interested in waiting for things. You're interested in having it now, because I feel like you're also like, well, what if I die tomorrow? Okay, what if you die tomorrow and you're with this relationship that's not fully developed, that's not holding you? You're feeling something, but is it really what you want to be feeling, Leo? That's the real question, because what you actually need is balance. Balance. I'm going to repeat it. I said the same thing to Aries. I was repeating things because, like, I need you to get it. You need balance in relationships, and not just to go in, you know, without your feet under you. Just diving off the diving board is the way it's coming in. You're just fully in there. I want to feel something. Well, you're going to feel something. You might end up with a couple, you know, like, pain points because you didn't let the relationship grow into what it needed to grow to. And that's the way it's coming in. So next relationship, you need to like let it slow boil for a second. Let it ripen, like that orange. Let it ripen. And that's your renovation around your romance life. That's where your renewal is happening. That's where you get the relationship that you want, because you take it slow for once and you let the relationship ripen, okay? You let it ripen, and then it's going to be sweet is the way it's coming through, Leo, okay? So take it slow. Take it slow. And then we're going to go into our final fire sign, Sag. And we're sticking with the romance because for whatever reason, I'm getting late nights. Late night, Sag. Where are we? The Lovers, late nights. There's something with late nights and you having difficulty with late nights. August into July, Sag, specifically around romance and lovers. I feel like for some of you, you're ruminating on the late nights, and that's where you need to start doing your renovation. Too many cards, okay? And the other thing that's happening here is you have too many choices. 9 of air, the Lovers, and there's something, okay, this is really interesting, Sag, because we have air, so much air. 9 of air, the Lovers, release, Page of air. Okay, so you're ruminating in the same way Aries was ruminating on past relationships, and you're being asked to release it specifically around late nights. Like you're letting your mind wander at night, Sag, and that's where you're getting into trouble, because you're like ruminating on these past relationships, and air is the mind. So this is exactly what we're talking about. Air is the mind. It's actually exhausting you, okay? You're exhausted by the prospect of romance, Sag, and I think that part of it is you focus too much on romance, and you're focusing too much on your past romance, okay? And there's other things that you need to be doing, because I feel like You've let other things go to the wayside while you're ruminating over whatever this past romance is, and now is the time to step back into like your life. But here's the interesting thing, where the Lovers is creeping up on you when you stop ruminating on the love. I just, like, all the fire signs, I just want to shake you, because you literally all got me out of bed to do this reading, because I was like, the fire signs need a reading, the fire signs need a reading, and I hope it's recording, because I don't even know if you're recording. You are recording. Oh my god, my phone was about to die. You got me out of bed, fire signs. You got me out of bed, Sag, and here you are ruminating in bed about a love that has already passed. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You're over here 4 of water energy in your emotions, like in the worst way, Sag. I want you to be 9 of water. I want you to, like, you know, start taking control of your emotions and start taking control of your life, and not letting the romance dictate your life and the romantic relationships dictate your life. Because again, when I'm talking about this, I'm saying when you start to look at other areas of your life and focus on other areas of your life, what you actually have coming in is not only love for yourself, but a love, okay? Because you're focusing on nourishing your life. And here we go. This is August, Sag. This is literally August. You have this romance coming in because you start focusing on your life and you start releasing those old patterns around romance and those old thoughts and those late nights staying up, Sag. Oh my god, you guys are like, I just want to shake you all, because I can literally see you all. Queen of Water, again, we had this in the Leo reading. You have to take control of your emotions, Sag, and this is where your renovation is happening. This is where your romance renovation is happening, is taking control of your emotions. And I really want you to actually do a cord cutting if you are able to, if you know how to do that, and if you don't, find someone who does. Cutting the cords between you and this past person, because I feel like you're just all tied in their energy and you're like all about it, and like you're even having dreams about it, and you're literally like, and I know you're having dreams about it. I know you're having dreams about it. You just stop. And they literally are coming in your dreams and you're in their dreams, and the two of you need to cut the shit. Because you're not together anymore. You're not together. And I don't think that this relationship, you're going to be together the way this is reading. Maybe you will be, but like for many of you, it's like you're ruminating over something that is dead and done, right? When we're talking about renovating the house of romance, and you're over here like there's a water coming through the ceiling, you have a leak, and you're over here looking at pictures of your relationship, and the leak is like getting bigger and bigger, and here you are, Sag, looking through your shoebox of your pictures, and like, hello, like, pay attention, let's get in the present, just like Aries. Be in the present and release the past, and stop dreaming about this person. Get a cord cutting and focus on you, Sag, because you focusing on you brings this new relationship that's better aligned into play. And that's the fire reading for July into August. And you guys literally got me out of bed for this reading, and it was a good one, so I hope it was good for you. And if it was, you can comment, like, subscribe. My name is Lindsey Rose. This is Storyteller Tarot. If you'd like your own personal reading, check out the links. As always, I wish you guys well. Bye.